Good evening, Travis.
Hello?
How are you?
Wait.
So, it's nearly your bedtime, and your mum has asked me to write you and then read you your bedtime story.
Yep.
You definitely won't have ever heard it before because it's a special story about you before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay? It's called The Midnight Unicorn. Here we go. One evening in deepest, darkest Norfolk, little Travis's dreams of driving fast cars around a racetrack were interrupted suddenly by an almighty crash that seemed to be coming from downstairs.
Flash?
He sat bolt upright, wiped away the dribble from his mouth, and carefully and quietly stepped out of bed, put on his little mixed dressing gown, and slowly opened his bedroom door. He checked both directions on the landing, and then approached the top of the stairs slowly, like a cautious mouse would do if on high alert for passing cats. As he peered down the stairs, he could see that one of the table lamps was on, and casting a dim glow over the room. And he could hear rustling coming from just out of sight. Travis's face screwed up in puzzlement. Can you screw your face up? Very good. It's the same face he pulls when he catches a whiff of his friend Josh after they've been running around in the playground at break time. He checked his mum's room to see if it would be her downstairs, but he could hear her snoring like a piggy as usual, so it wasn't her. What's happening down there, he thought to himself. Being the adventurous explorer, like his hero Buzz Lightyear, Travis darted back into his room, grabbed his exploring torch, and carefully crept down the stairs, like a reluctant slinky spring from the 90s. A simile that a 3-year-old surely wouldn't quite understand, but in a story like this, you have to put something in to keep the adults interested.
Happy.
Or maybe he did get it. As he reached the stairs, he poked his head over the banister to see a large shape in the corner of the room, grunting slightly and shuffling around, seemingly moving things. "Freeze!" he shouted. Shout freeze.
Please.
He shouted as he bounded out of his hiding place, beaming the torch directly into the mysterious figure's face. As he did, he immediately recognized the beast. Standing before him, with what seemed like a feather duster in his mouth, was the most glorious thing Travis had ever seen. It was a unicorn. "What are you doing here?" he said, slightly confused by the whole thing. "Hello, Travis," said the unicorn in a very kindly but calm voice. "You're not supposed to have seen me. I'm usually very quiet, but I've been a bit clumsy today, and I dropped a chair on my hoof, and it really hurt." "Why are you even here?" replied Travis. "Oh, don't you know?" said the unicorn. "I'm a magical unicorn that cleans people's houses when they sleep." Travis looked at him again with a face of astonishment. "You're cleaners?" he said. "I thought unicorns did fun things with rainbows and went on exciting missions and flew around and stuff." "Well, we do that too," replied the unicorn. "Brian's the name, cleaning's my game. Well, we also do the fun stuff you said, but life's all about balance, isn't it? You can't be exciting all the time." "Oh, that's right." Said Travis. "I don't believe you're a real unicorn anyway." "Oh, is that right?" And before Travis had time to answer, Brian, the unicorn, had gathered him up and plonked him on his back and was yelling, "Hold on tight!" He started to gallop towards the now open front door. "Tally-ho!" Brian then soared off into the night. A multicoloured trail of glitter lit up the sky as he went zooming over the North Norfolk coast. "Wow!" said Travis as he held onto the gold reins for dear life. "I can see my friend Fern's house from up here." "Ah, yes," said Brian. "Fern's mummy and daddy are very clean. It takes absolutely no time at all to fix their house up, unlike yours," replied Brian. "And there's Amelia's house, and there's Nanny Jip's house as well." "Oh, yes," replied Brian. "Nanny Jip is my absolute favourite. We have good long chats and she makes excellent tea. I do all sorts of chores for her. I even mended her glasses last week when they were on the wonk." The flight continued for a few more minutes, swooping under bridges, through forests, squeezing between buildings, including Travis's nursery. He couldn't wait to tell everyone about his new friend and this amazing adventure he'd just been on. "Right, time we got you home, Travis, my boy," said Brian. "Oh," moaned Travis. Can we go flying again, please? Of course, but only if you're a good boy and you get straight back to sleep. Promise?
I will promise.
He said as they landed. Brian ushered him back upstairs. Sleep well, Travis. I'm sorry for waking you. And now, I've got a few more bits to do in the kitchen, and I'll try and be a bit quieter. But Mummy's blocked the drain up with last night's bolognese, so I might have to use the plunger. Travis looked confused. He didn't really know what a plunger was, but it didn't matter. He'd had the greatest adventure of all time and couldn't wait for the next one. He took off his little mixed dressing gown, tucked himself in, and fell back into dreamland. The end.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you. Now, hopefully, Travis, maybe Brian the Unicorn will be downstairs tonight doing some cleaning and then you can go for a little flight later.